Back to the fourth set. If you're just joining us, competitive first set won by the Crimson Wave, 25-23, but since then it's been all Cougars, 25-14 for the second set and a 25-20 win in the third set. 2-1. I mean, it's something that CCSJ is, they're keeping up right now with the Cougars. They didn't win a set last season against St. Xavier in their two losses, which actually one of them was on Halloween night. Nothing scary about this performance from both teams. They've both been pretty good today. Haynes sends it over. And a mistake on that one by Grochola. And a lot of these players on the Cougars side have a lot of experience. Like Grochola is a senior. Martinez is a fifth-year senior. Bourne is a junior. Hoskins a senior. So much experience, but some of them sat behind some of the starters last year who graduated, and maybe they don't have as much as they would like. Haynes makes a mistake, so it's 1-1. Speaking of a senior, Ariel Hoskins going to get the serve here. Camino keeps it up. Van Domelen blocked down, kept alive. Essence Keel taps it over awkwardly. Camino. Van Domelen gets a second try at it. Martinez is going to set up her teammate wonderfully. The spike from Grochola kept alive by Camino. That one spiked down. Grochola and Pinozzo in there on the block. 2-1 in this fourth and possibly deciding set. Keel with a nice dig. Kept alive by the Cougars. And they're going to set up a nice spike by Pinozzo right in between the Crimson Wave defenders. 3-1 is the score. So last year's game in that 3-0 win in Chicago for St. Xavier, they dominated the first set, held the Crimson Wave to only just 9 points in one of the sets. As Van Domelen keeps that up, Martinez smartly lets that go, and it's out. But St. Xavier had double-digit kills in all three sets. The Wave didn't have any in any set, or I should say they didn't have double-digit kills in any set. And Berta Comino led the team with 5 kills and 1 ace. Grochola led the way for the Cougars in that one. Pritchett spikes it down. Uncontested as well. So 4-2, and I can't stress it enough how important it is in this set for the Crimson Wave to stay either in front or within 2 or 3 points, because going down by more would really set up the Cougars for success. Jensen, Keel tries to keep it alive, and that's just a tall task for Essence Keel, because Jensen's got one of the strongest spikes on this team. Jensen's got to be in the running for all-conference team the way she's playing tonight and this season as well. Keel comes up short on the spike. Timeout, De Jesus. He senses the momentum favoring the Cougars. We welcome you back. 6-2 score in this fourth set. Well, the way De Jesus has brought this team back from where they were last season with no wins, but he's done it with the help of his assistant coaches. He has his sister on the lineup for assistant coaches as well. Emilieshka De Jesus, Christian Vegas, and Brent Banich also a part of this coaching staff. And they've probably, I think it's safe to say, been a big part of the recruiting for CCSJ this season. Remember, if you're just joining us, I mentioned earlier that this team last year, CCSJ, had 6 players in total as Martinez makes a service error. She's been pretty good all game, but makes a mistake there. But like I was saying, Crimson Wave, 6 players on the roster last year. No substitutes. They had to play the entire game. I mean, that is probably the most exhausting thing you could possibly do. A mistake there out of Hoskin, and there's an ace there by Keel. So just like that, we're right back into a 2-point game. Big timeout called by De Jesus. And Keel with an error on the next serve. So we're going to see Abby Opilka. She's going to come in for Delaney Pinozo. Pinozo, just a redshirt sophomore. She exits the game, and Pinozo actually also plays for the basketball team, and she is the tallest player on this roster. And Coach Hiroshima did not beat her on the bush. He needs her because of the height. And there's not the best setup right there out of Tegan Rath, the junior from El Paso, Texas, and she actually transferred from St. Mary of the Woods. Van Domelen keeps it up, but it's going to go right over to St. Xavier, and finishing things off is Jensen, and all of a sudden it's 9-4. Opilka to serve. Van Domelen, Rath sets up a nice kill there out of Pritchett. Hit that one right off the shoulder of Opilka there. Pritchett has also had a great season too. She's a dual sport athlete. She also plays for the women's basketball team. Plays guard. Oh, that's beautiful. Straight to the middle blocker, Carrington Smith for the kill. I mean, it's so difficult to defend when you have serious height at the net, like this Cougars team. So difficult to defend that middle blocker getting a kill because it's so quick that you'd never have enough time to react. Just over the net on the serve by Van. Keel's going to keep this alive and give her teammates a shot, and Camino's going to send it over. Here's Bourne. Kept alive by Haynes. It comes to Camino. That's deflected. It hit a hand, and that's going to be a point to the Crimson Wave. They're keeping themselves in this game. It's 10-6. Well, we're going to see Tegan Rath serve here. Played for her club volleyball team in El Paso, the Outlaw Volleyball Club. Here's Bourne, kept alive by Keel. Rath sends it back over, and that's just in on the line, and De Jesus saw it. He pointed. Hovey gets the kill, 11-6. If a fifth set is required, it will be a fifth and deciding set up to 15 points, win by 2. Essence Keel makes a mistake, and there's a service ace and a Sioux celebration for the Cougars, channeling their inner Cristiano Ronaldo. So 12-6. Camino keeps that up. Rath is going to set up Van Domelen. Again, they go with the middle blocker with the kill. Gruchola, it's kept alive, and a nice play at the net by Carrito to get that. Just a freshman Carrito as well. So she's obviously had to make the transition up to collegiate volleyball, and she's done a good job so far. Good serve by Camino, but an even better kill by Gruchola. Just like that second and third set, the 6-point lead right now is just being held by the Cougars consistently. Anytime the Crimson Wave get a point, the Cougars are right back with another point of their own. Camino keeps it alive. And they're going to set up another kill by Gruchola, but this time it's kept alive. Bourne sends it over. Oh, they're going to say that it hit the line. Camino thought it was out. 13-7 now. Hovey will send it away. Essence Keel taps it up. What a spike. Oh my goodness, Pinozo. Wow. Timeout, CCSJ, 15-7. They've brought the lead up to 8 in the penultimate set. Welcome you back to Whiting, Indiana. These two teams have a quick game, a quick turnaround. St. Xavier will play at home against IU South Bend on Thursday. CCSJ will play on the road against Trinity Christian on Thursday. As that serve goes out of play by Hovey. Then CCSJ gets a break until Tuesday. They'll play on the road against Governor State. And St. Xavier up to play a game 2 days after Thursday at home against Lourdes University. So they just played on Saturday, remember, so they're having to play 4 games in the span of a week. Here's Bourne, kept up by Haynes. To the back row for Camino, and that's a mistake. And I mean, I think you can just tell. I mean, Camino's pretty much played the entire game for CCSJ, and you can just tell the exhaustion might be getting to them a little bit. Here's Hoskin to serve this one. Camino, she's been consistently receiving on the serves, and that one's just out of play by Van Domelen. And it's 17-8. It's a 9-point lead for the Cougars, looking for win number 2 on the year. This is St. Xavier's 6th game of the season. For CCSJ, it's their 9th. Keel lets that one go out of play. We appreciate everybody watching tonight here on the JEDTV Sports Network. I'm Kyle Mathas, and it's so good to be here to open up the season at home for CCSJ. What a serve by Van Domelen. Here's Jensen. Kept up by Haynes. What a dig. Camino taps it up. Now the Cougars going to be set up nicely with Jensen again. Camino with the dig this time. Van Domelen from the back row. Just in. I mean, you cannot sit here and say that this team has not improved drastically from last season. It's unbelievable to see what Coach DeJesus has done with this program. They did not win a set, remember, last year against St. Xavier in both games. Van Domelen's going to have to go from the back row, and that was always going to be a tough one. She was leaning back. But Van Domelen, the junior from Highland, Indiana, like we said, stepped in from South Suburban College, transferred in. She's stepping in for the role of Yanalette Diaz, who played last season but can't play this year, as Tegan Rath had a tough assignment to come all the way over and keep that one alive. And for the 3rd straight set, it's a 9-point lead. Martinez will serve now. Camino with an incredible dig. Rath sets up Keel. There it is, Essence Keel. And I'm sure you can hear it through the microphone, folks, but you can tell how much that point meant to the Crimson Wave. The screams say it all. Essence Keel has been pretty good serving today. She's going to need a big run, or the Crimson Wave, I should say, need a big run. Great dig by Pritchett. Martinez again with an amazing dig and a mistake, a rare one, I should say, from Jensen, the senior from Carl Sandburg High School in Orland Park. Not too far away from here in Whiting, not too far away from St. Xavier University. That's a mistake there, but kept alive nicely by Hoskin. Here comes CCSJ. Pritchett didn't get the best one from Rath, and now a mistake again by Smith. The mistakes are starting to add up for St. Xavier, but here's the thing. As a timeout is called by Coach Hiersema, we'll keep it here in a 19-13 game. Coach Hiersema made it a very, very important point talking to me before this game, how important it was for his team to let the mistakes go, Mistakes are made by everybody. They're human, and one of the things that happens when you're a young player and you make mistakes is that you, or I should say an inexperienced player, at least at the collegiate level, is that you start getting in your own head. And I mean, Coach Hiersema knows that mistakes can be made. He expects mistakes. In his 37th season, I think he knows what he's talking about when he says, just let the mistakes go and focus on the next point. Let's see if St. Xavier can focus on these next 6 points to try to close out this game in 4 sets. If we need a 5th set, it would be quite something. The last time this series has seen a 5th set between these two teams was the first ever win by the CCSJ women's volleyball program over St. Xavier, a 5-set thriller in Chicago, and a 16-14 5th set, which means that it had to go practically into overtime, if you would say that. Jensen kept alive by Haynes, and Rath had to come in from no man's land and couldn't keep it up. And just like the last 2 sets, the Cougars are the first team to 20, which has been a consistent theme in this game. The first team to 20 has won each set. CCSJ was the first team to 20 in the first set. Haynes sets up Camino. Jensen. Oh, that just went on the wrong side of the net. It was almost blocked by Pritchett and Rath. Well, on Saturday, when St. Xavier lost in 4 sets to Viterbo University in La Crosse, Wisconsin, they won the first set and they lost the next 3. They're pretty much reversing that here. Camino deflected, and a great keep alive by Opilka. Jensen from the back row. Oh, that was just out, and I tell you, that might have been the closest one of the night. Just out of play. Very close to being on the line, as we're going to see Carrito come back into the game for CCSJ. Here's Pritchett to serve. They need something out of her. To the far side. Great spike by Hovey. Great keep alive by Van Domelen. And then Camino goes to the far side, but it's just out of play. 22-14, 3 points away from finishing the job here in Whiting tonight for the Cougars, getting their second win. Remember, 27-1 all-time against CCSJ in women's volleyball. Van Domelen. Rath has to come in from no man's land. This time she gets there. Camino spikes it down. And what a nice play at the net by Hovey. And Hovey, I'm telling you right now, Coach Hiersema had a lot of good things to say about Samantha Hovey. She's got a ton of experience. She's transferred from all over the place. And she has been really, really good. 23-14. And that is a service ace by Taylor Van as it awkwardly hits off the net. And here is set and match point for St. Xavier. That one's out of play. Long on the serve by Van. Great eye there from Rath to keep this game going, but it's a 9-point game, and Tegan Rath, the junior, the transfer, has a lot of pressure on her shoulders right now. Martinez, far side for Bourne to finish things. Camino blocked down, kept alive. They're going to get another chance at it, Van Domelen. And that'll do it. Carrington Smith finishes the job, and that's the game. A 4-set thriller here in Whiting, and 3 straight set wins for St. Xavier after losing the first set in a nail-biter, 25-23. They come back and they dominate, including this 25-15 set 4 victory. So the final is 3-1. The first set, a 25-23 win for CCSJ. Second set, an 11-point win for the Cougars. Third set was a closer one, a 5-point win, and this final set is a 10-point win for St. Xavier, who are now 2-4 on the season, coming back after their tough loss on the road against the top 25 team over the weekend. So CCSJ will drop to 1-8. Their next game is on the road against Trinity Christian on Thursday in 2 days, and then next Tuesday against Governor State on the road. That'll do it for us here on the JEDTV network. The final 3-1, the win for St. Xavier over CCSJ. For this whole crew here tonight, I'm Kyle Mathas signing off. We'll see you next time for our men's soccer game on Friday evening. For now, we say so long and good night.